unless you've been living under a West Edmonton Mall rock, you've likely heard the news that Galaxyland's Mindbender has been closed for good. After 37 years operating as one of North America's most iconic thrill rides, the train cars took passengers on their final ride in 2021. After this, the coaster shut down for maintenance, and it sat like that for well over a year. And I admit, before this news broke, I was the most vocal naysayer when it came to the rumors that the coaster was being removed. And you can't really blame me. My reasoning was sound. Whatever costs it would take to remove the massive coaster, one of the largest installations in the world, would surely outweigh whatever maintenance cost there would have been to merely fix whatever the problem was. But I guess not.
West Edmonton Mall has shut down the Mindbender, and it is being removed.
Duchak is behind the Edmonton nostalgia site, Best Edmonton Mall. He says rumors about the Mindbender's future have been swirling for a while, but he didn't want to believe them.
There must have been a really good reason for them to remove it, because that has been an iconic piece of West Edmonton Mall in Edmonton for decades. Since the press release came out in late January, the mall hasn't wasted much time dismantling the iconic coaster. Now, this is a massive job, and there's still much to do, but its removal is definitely underway. Approaching the ride from a distance, it appears intact. It's not until you get closer that you'll start to see the missing pieces. Some of the first sections to be removed were at the north end of the track. These sections were those which led up to both the single and double loops, with the single loop track being the second tallest drop on the Mindbender. It's clear why these were amongst the first to go once you notice that one of Galaxyland's exterior entrances is currently closed. Entrance 10 is inaccessible, as it exists right next to the large bay door which grants access to bring oversized equipment into the park. Right in front of both Entrance 10 and these bay doors, the mall has constructed a temporary ramp to bring in two massive cranes. If you were like me, you were wondering how on earth they would remove the Mindbender. Well, these cranes appear to be the key. Another of the first sections to go, oddly, was one virtually directly in the center of the coaster. Right above Entrance 12, which for nearly 4 decades welcomed visitors into the park, and down a path through one of the Mindbender's 3 loops, a section of track is missing. It's pretty obvious. If you look up, you can't miss it. The final section which has been taken out thus far is along the bottom of the coaster, which makes sense when you look at where those 2 aforementioned cranes are parked. The final thrill before our ride on the Mindbender came to an end was during the helix section which looped around a mirrored pillar. This pillar holds the platform where the Galaxy Orbiter track exists today, but it originally held the Orbitron. I remember loving looking up at that time during the coaster ride, and seeing myself in the car whizzing by at what felt like incomprehensible speeds. After this section, the track would travel back behind the theater ride and return to the loading and unloading area of the coaster. This final journey was as close to the amusement park floor that the coaster would get, but now it's gone. Removed to make room to bring in cranes so that more of the track can be removed. And alongside that area, the stairs down to the former Galaxy Quest have also been taken out. All signs point to this ride also being decommissioned and removed from the park. This was first noticed when its entry on the park's list of rides quietly disappeared. This was before the Mindbender closure was made official. And the signs which used to advertise shows where you would use your blaster to battle in haunted carnivals have been removed. If I'm able to get over my emotional attachment to the Mindbender, and that's not easy to do, objectively, it's kind of interesting to see all the planning and order that has gone into the removal of the Mindbender. From an engineering perspective, I find it incredibly interesting, even though seeing it reminds me that I was off the mark in my denial that this ride would ever be removed. I had thought for sure that the dollars would never make enough sense to remove the ride, but I hadn't considered that the ride could be all used up. After hearing no less than a dozen completely different inside reasons why it was going, the matter of fact is it's 37 years old, and even steel has a lifespan, especially when it supports a coaster which has more G-force than all but one other in North America. Over time, steel can bend, it can warp, it can crack. Now, I'm not saying all those things happened here, but something did. Something that not only caused West Edmonton Mall to deem the coaster unfit to operate, but also caused its tenure to end in a scrapyard. I had a lot of trouble facing it when I heard the news, but it was its time. Despite my love for the Mindbender, which will never die, I've decided to be thankful. I'm thrilled that I was able to ride the Mindbender dozens of times in my life. It was my first major coaster, and it made so many others seem tame by comparison. And the one silver lining is that they're going to have a massive space to work with once it's gone. With such huge shoes to fill, I'm really hopeful that West Edmonton Mall will bring something that'll impress. And yes, they still do impress. Drive is an awesome addition as an attraction, and it's not one which was implemented halfway by any stretch. The corkscrew's replacement also looks very promising, and it wasn't all that long ago that the Cyclone was added to the World Water Park either. Within Galaxyland, all the new Hasbro rethemes have been implemented with a super high level of detail and polish. Okay, they're mostly kids' rides, but my point stands. Regardless of what theme you like or not, every single ride and game they've touched so far has been done to a very high level of quality. So I'm choosing to ride that wave. I'm going to have faith, because I want to enjoy the feeling of not knowing what's coming, but rooting for something awesome. And in the meantime, I'll watch the Mindbender come down and be put to rest. It's brought more smiles, screams, and knots in my stomach than any other ride in the world. Rest easy, good buddy. How many times did you get to ride the Mindbender? Do you have any special memories of it? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like and a share, and maybe even visit my Patreon page. And why not check out one of my other videos, all about the greatest indoor show on earth, West Edmonton Mall. Oh, and thanks for watching.